welcome to today's show, which promises to be educating, enlightening, and very revealing. All right, we've got a special guest today. I'll be introducing him, but before we do that, I'd like you to share this video um, across your social media platforms, and so that other people can join in and benefit from this exciting and educating show that we're bringing to you live today. As usual, I'm going to be your host for today. I am Osaro Aigbogun, and with me here are my co-hosts who will be coming up live during the course of today's show. I also want to remind you that on our platform, we've got tons of videos and educational materials for you to feed your eyes, your ears, and your minds with, because we always dish out content that will enrich you. We've got content such as internet addiction, loneliness, society's best kept secret, autism in Africa, leadership, personal financing, um, and a host of others that you can gain, very good knowledge on, and knowledge that will definitely enrich you in your personal life, in your financial life, and definitely in your family life. So I'd like to go straight to introducing our host. Our guest for today. Very exciting one, by the way. We've got Alpha Anak Ngadan. He is a seasoned
Yes.
finance. Yeah, that's Alpha. I'll just tell a bit about Alpha so that you know who you're going to be gaining a lot of knowledge from today. Alpha is a seasoned finance professional, and he's also an academic. He is currently at the final stage of his doctoral program. He has already gotten to the last phase, and it's been a big one for him. I would like to say that.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank
yeah, and currently he is also an academic at Curtin University, the Miri campus based in East Malaysia. Alpha holds a corporate MBA from the University of Malaysia, Sarawak, and a BBA in finance from the University of Technology, Mara. Now, ever since 2011, he has been a lecturer at the Department of Accounting, Finance, and Economics at Curtin University. Previously, he served as the executive director at Labuan Container Terminal and as an assistant general manager at Jasif Shipyard and Engineering. His professional focus includes capital preservation through swing and positioning trading. Alpha is actively involved in professional associations, loads and loads of them, and also in community service. And he has served as the president of the Dayak Think Tank Association in Sarawak, East Malaysia. And he
Yes.
is currently a treasurer of the Persatuan Intellectual Pribumi Sarawak. Wow, this is a loaded personality we have in our show today. And it is my pleasure and absolute delight to welcome to today's show Dr. Alpha Ngadan. Alpha, you're welcome
Thank
to
you.
the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Saro. Thank you for the invitation.
All right.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
I've been in this field for, I would say, close to 25 years. I started during my early days when I was just an undergraduate. What brought me into this field was actually my lecturer. She was a graduate from Washington State University. She held I believe she was, her PhD was in investment and market frequency something. Yeah. So she was the one who inspired me to go into trading. She inspired me to go into this field. And yeah, ever since during my undergraduate days, we were trading just paper trade. We wrote purchase of stocks and then we submitted to her office and she would just value it. And then from there on, we start to look at companies. Look at how the overall market move when certain news comes into the market. Yeah, so well, many are actually during this, this uncertainty, during this economic turmoil, as we can see during a pandemic, and then now we're facing with high inflation figures, and as we can see that the U.S. market as well. Well, overall, we were expecting a rate cut somewhere in end of June or maybe July or maybe in August. However, yesterday the market was really surprised because job non-farm payrolls was actually rising. So instead of it reducing, the numbers increased to an alarming rate, which most of the those participants in the market were like, "What is this? Is this going to make the rate possible?" So this is one of the areas that we look at. However, having said that, if
Yeah,
you're in the market and if you have been in the market for that, that long period, like what me and my associates have been, this is just an ordinary time. And when the market is down, we make money. When the market is up, we also make money. So as a finance lecturer, I also share what I know to my students, and they also and they also can see the importance of how this movement can benefit both ways.
yeah, all
So
right. Thank you so much. You know what? You
sure.
need to put a pause there.
All right,
I
sure,
know
sure.
you've got a
Yeah,
lot of passion for trading, for financing, many
yeah,
things,
yeah,
and you want to get right into it. But I want our audience to know a bit about you.
sure, sure.
And you know what? I just read a brief bio on about you
Yeah,
just a few minutes ago, and I can see you're loaded with a lot of things, and you're involved in I mean, tons and tons of associations, professional,
yeah.
programs, and the likes. I'd like to ask you, what keeps you going? What gives you the energy and the drive to, I mean, combine your personal life, your family life, and your professional life, and then still dive into all these things? Can you share what keeps you going?
Sure, sure. Well, on my part, when what I see is how can I serve others, because I always see the benefit of, as a Christian, my motto or my principle is very simple. As long as I can see there's growth in others, as long as I leave others better when I met them, I know something is good going to happen. And I always have this belief that the more you serve others, the more you give to serve the community, the more the benefits will come back to you. Maybe it might not be in terms of wealth, it might not be in terms of money, but it might be in terms of your well-being as an individual, your recognition, or your how well you are being treated in your community, or as well as how you are serving others. So this actually brings me, this actually motivates me to move. At the same time, while I serve the community, I also am into trading because I have always been into that. Trading is always my passion, and I can see that even during tough times like the pandemic, when so many people suffering, there were so many issues regards to job and unemployment, the market was still thriving. And that is where, people who do not see the benefits of the market, they'll say like, wow, can you actually make money during those times? Yes. And that's how I made a lot of money. And I can show it, I can share it, and I and few of my associates have been doing it, and a few of them have been doing it since day one. They've been in the market when the market was very bad, and now they're still in the market. So it's like a day-to-day living for them. They make, and so what I see is in life is that as long as you can give something to others, as long as you make sure that you're healthy, as long as you meet all these criteria, I tell you that's a fulfilling life to me.
Wow, that's great. That's awesome. Okay, one more thing into your personal life, Alpha. And by the way, viewers, I
Yes,
know Alpha on a personal note. We were colleagues, and
yes,
I mean, for 2 full years, and he's been a great guy. But one thing I know about Alpha is that if you happen to go to the gym on the
yes,
first day of the week or throughout the week, Alpha is the first person you will see, and he's
yes.
most likely the last person you'll see in the gym. I mean,
I love
what?
that. I love
Yeah,
that.
I mean, share your secret about being at the gym and keeping so fit.
Oh, I tell you. Okay, this actually goes back all the way to my when I was in. Okay, I started my job back in 2004. I just graduated from my undergraduate. I had a bachelor in finance, and my major was in finance investment. My minor was in marketing, and I actually secured a job with an American company. It's called Mergent Online. You can Google it. Mergent Online is a provider of financial data, and they provide all the financial data required for those who are interested to invest and whatnot. So I was there since 2000, January 2004, and all the way to the end of 2004. So during that time, I was actually I was focused on more towards myself, like just started the job and starting to get to know friends and whatnot. Experiencing the earning sort of money. So I was not really into health back then, but
Uh-huh.
something actually terrible happened. I was involved in a car accident. That was in 2004, August 2004. So that accident actually resulted in one of my right eye. It is currently permanently damaged because the nerves in that particular eye, if your nerves is destroyed, that's it. So that actually motivated me that I have one life and I have to be healthy and make sure that I do the best so that I can do the best for not only myself but for others. So that actually motivated me. So on and on, I can see, once you're in the gym, once you experience working out, once you have that, you have that experience of endorphin, that natural hormone that has been released when you do your workout, when you do your pump, then you get this liking, and it starts to be, you just start to hook. You get hooked to this natural, feeling of this endorphin in your stream, and it makes you feel happy. Endorphin makes you feel happy, makes your life, you feel wonderful. Every time I go to the gym after that 1 hour session or 2 hour session, I feel, oh, it's great. I feel lively. I feel that, wow, this is wonderful. So that actually motivated me. So once you're in, the only thing is that you have to start. The most important part is to start. Once you start, and if you continue that for a month, I tell you, you will never stop. And I can testify. I have many students who just came in. In fact, our postgraduate students, a few of them, and our lecturer. I might Osaro. Dr. Osaro, I think you know this our good friend who just left us. I mean, he went for another university. This what's our name? He was
Dr.
teaching
Adamu,
tourism. Doctor, I kind of
it's
it's slipped my mind. Anyway, he came into the gym. I introduced him. It was like 2 months only, and then from there on, I tell you, he got hooked, and he was like non-stop. He came in like every single day. In fact, after classes, he immediately came just to lift weights like for 5 or 10 minutes, and that's it. It's a real deal. Once he's in, he knows the technique and everything. He's hooked for life.
all right. That's good. That's good. All right. So, viewers, by the way, so we're going to be delving right into the subject
Yes,
matter of today, and in the midst of it, we'll be sharing on the banner Dr. Alpha's contact. So, in case you want to reach him privately, I
feel
mean,
free.
like
Yeah.
he's a loaded guy, so he's there as a resource for you to tap from.
Mm,
All right. So I'd like to ask you a couple of questions while giving you the opportunity and the platform to share a bit
yes.
of your knowledge. Now,
Mm,
first, let's start with this. Can you give us an overview, a brief one, of
mm.
what trading involves and what are
All
the
right.
different type of assets one can trade? And I want
All
you to
right.
say it like we are laymen. I'm not so, versatile in trading. So, and I believe a lot of our viewers globally are in the same shoes with me. So give us a brief overview of the different type of assets that one can trade.
Okay, sure. Well, when you talk about trading, the idea of trading is actually, um, you see, when you buy something, you're expecting that the price to go up in value, and that's how most would understand you make money from it. So, say for example, you buy anything for that matter. Okay, the famous one when you talk about trading, they will always associate trading with stocks, associate trading with companies, listed companies. Yes, that is one part. That's one of the major sources of funds for companies. But there are many other assets, or we call them securities, that are available for trading. However, in order for you to attempt to trade those types of assets or securities, they might require a different strategy. So all of this boils down into the general rule of trading, which is to buy low and sell high, or if you have a current position, to sell at that position and to buy it to close that position. So in trading, you're actually going both ways. You can either go up, you can follow the trend. When the market goes up, you can buy, and then it goes up, you sell to make that profit. Or when you anticipate that that price will drop, so you sell that position now, and when it drops further, you can just close that position, buy it long, or you buy it back. So that closes that position, and you make money from that both position. So now, when you talk about types or different types of asset or different types of securities, the famous one like I mentioned earlier on is stocks or companies. They are listed companies, and companies like Google, companies like Meta, companies. The famous one, the AI now is Nvidia, and we also have other companies like the Bank of America, Wells Fargo, you name it, Fannie Mae. A lot of companies out there. What about in Malaysia? In Malaysia, where I come from, you have Maybank, you have Genting Highlands. There's so many companies. So that's one part. Okay, there are other. We consider them as like cryptocurrencies now in the market. It's very, very. I would say it's one of the highlights and one of the most traded security. They are considered very risky asset or risky security. Why? Because they fluctuate in prices very, very aggressively. Now, is it possible to trade those assets? Yes, it is. But there's also strategy that are linked to trading those. Another one that we used to trade are very famous as well are metals. Metals can be from gold, silver, you name it, aluminum. But the famous one that's being traded among all most traders are gold and silver. These are the two famous ones. The rest are mostly by fund managers or like those who are bankers and whatnot. Okay,
I
apart
see.
from that, there are also traders who are into forex. Forex are foreign exchange. These are also considered high risk. Why I'm talking about high risk? Because high risk involves fluctuation of prices are more rampant or more aggressive compared to stocks. But having said that, all of these areas, there's always a rule of thumb that we traders follow. And that is, in order for us to tap one market, we must be able to utilize a certain strategy to enter the market. Not all, like they say, not all shoes fit. Okay, so you cannot use the same strategy for stocks to trade crypto. You cannot use the same strategy for trading crypto to trade metals. You cannot use the same strategy to trade metals to trade bonds and forex. So it all depends. So
All
that is
right.
where the science of trading comes in.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. And you know what? Something caught my interest. I have been hearing the buzz about Nvidia, how it's doing so well. I mean, I'm a layman in this, but you said some things. You give examples of some companies, and I was
Mm.
wondering. Well, you said Wells Fargo. I bank with Wells Fargo. You
Yeah.
talked about Bank of America. I bank with
Yes.
Bank of America,
Yes.
and I never knew they were the top. And the trading in the trading world or the top companies doing very well. I mean, when you mentioned those two things that I have a personal relationship with, it it brought out a light. I mean, the sparkle just came up in my head, and I was wondering, how do you know a company that you should, I mean, that are doing well and you should trade with them, and how can you differentiate it from other companies that you shouldn't even, get into trading?
All right. Okay. To start with, okay, for the basic, I'm talking about basic. In order for us to trade, like I said earlier on, you need to know whether that price will go up or it will go down. So
All
that's
right.
the number one key. So it's like for those laymen out there, it's like when you walk in the dark, and if you do not have any torchlight, you don't have any light to show you, I definitely tell you that you will fall, you will drop, or you will hit something because you're in the dark. So same goes with trading or in any market. When you trade, you need to know the tools involved in trading. And these tools will enable you to have, how would I say, to have more confidence on the trend or the potential trend that that particular stock, that particular company will go to. So we call this technical analysis. There are two major two major platforms or two major groups that we are looking at. One is technical, one is fundamental. Okay, fundamental looks into the book of each company, and book here refers to the accounts. We talk about ratios, we talk about the actual financial values, we talk about their cash flow, we talk about their income, we talk about their assets. These are known as fundamental. So normally a fundamental analysis requires an individual, or requires anyone for that matter, to go through the accounts, to go through the figures, and to come up with a solution, or to come up with a valuation saying that, oh yes, this company is above average than the industry, or this company is slightly underperforming compared to industry. However, having said that, this book or this financial fundamental analysis, they are a bit late compared to technical analysis. Why would I say that? Because fundamental analysis requires audited book, audited accounts, and normally audited accounts will take, the fastest will be 3 months after they close the book. And when I say close the book, if the accounting year is in December, we are looking at the 3 months before that December. Say we are looking at, today is May. So we are looking, say June 2024. If that accounting year ends in June 2024, we are looking at the 3 months or the 6 months previously prior to this June. So we're looking at the details or accounts of January, February, March, April, and May. Well, these news are good and it's all wonderful. However, these are considered late because we are looking at past figures that have been compiled to be presented to the overall market, to be presented to the public. So I say it's good. Why? Because it tells us, okay, this is the value of company based on their books. So that is one part. But for others, when I'm talking about trading, we who trade on, we call ourselves swing traders, we call ourselves fast in, fast out traders, we call also scalpers, whereby we look at trends based on prices. These are known as technical analysis. And technical analysis is like a fast torchlight. When you see something, you can identify there is a potential trend. So we look at it as a potential. It's not guaranteed. All technical analysis is do is showing us that there is a potential that this price might go up or that this price might go down. So what we do is we set our figures and we set our price when we enter, and then we set it when to exit. However, if it does not hit, we'll wait. So if it is within our range, we will wait until it hits. If not, if it goes opposite, means it goes not according to our forecast, then we have to cut loss. So trading is a science. So when we understand this, then we can say, okay, fundamental is this, technical is this. All companies have this potential to go up and go down. So same goes with all companies or all metals or anything that has prices. So that's where the key difference between fundamental and technical.
I see. Wow, that's loaded. And you know what, viewers, if you've got any question, you can either drop it on any platform you are in, YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, or you can contact Alpha,
Yeah,
Dr. Alpha directly. His WhatsApp and Telegram information are on the banner as you can see on your screen, or you can
yeah,
add him on LinkedIn.
yeah,
I want to believe he's active on LinkedIn too.
yes,
Now the good thing about today's show is that Dr. Alpha has prepared some
mm,
information in slides, and I'm going to give him time to share those information with us without interrupting him so that you
yeah,
can get an utmost benefit of today's show. However, before I do this, and this is on a lighter note,
yeah,
okay? So we've gone through all the rhetorics of trading and the volatile companies and the technical
yes,
analysis, the fundamental analysis. But I'd like to ask you, and this is on a personal note that I said, like
sure,
I said,
sure,
what's in it for me? I mean, is it rocket science to make a lot of money from trading? Have you personally made money, which you would consider a lot from trading? And if you have, would you like to share a personal story? And
sure,
on the
sure.
flip side,
Mm.
have you made losses? I mean,
Definitely.
we, yeah, would like to hear that too. Uh,
Sure. Sure.
Before we go into your slides. All right.
Okay, okay. So let me start. Yes, I like I mentioned, I started way back when I was in uni, but back then I was only investing. I wouldn't say trading because trading involves buying and selling at a more frequent, more frequent level. But my I started with buying and holding for months, or in fact years. Like I bought AirAsia, the famous budget airline AirAsia, when it was at the IPO price at 1 ringgit 70 cents. I sold it to start another business when it was 3 ringgit. And I only bought like only two lots. Two major lots was only 2,000 shares. So I made like, quite a big lump sum on that. But still, when we talk about trading, it's all about percentage because it's not I wouldn't say it's 100% about the money, but it's more about how much percentage do you make out of your investment. So you
Okay.
can have $1 million, you can have $10 million. However, you only make like 0.1%, 0.5%, it doesn't matter. But if you can consistently make 1 or 5% or 10% returns on a monthly basis, that is impressive. So, okay, on my personal note, as mentioned earlier on during a pandemic, people were grumbling, how can I secure my position in my company? Companies are downsizing, companies are laying off. Why? Because the business economy is not doing well. In fact, Katin was also in that midst. But I was in trading, and I get to know some friends, and we were all in the same boat. We were like, okay, now we have slightly more time. What stocks are you into? And then apparently it was more towards the healthcare stock. And I said, are you sure we can make money through healthcare stocks? So I invested about only 2,000 ringgit. 2,000 ringgit is a very small amount. And the stocks that I bought, if you have, this is we call this this we call this trading view, or you can use investing.com as well. So these platforms or these websites actually show you historical prices. Now if you open, if I can share you later on, I'll show you one very very clear example. Okay, this was a very small company. The name of this company is Care Plus. They provide the current company actually provides a glove stock. They provide gloves, so like medical gloves to healthcare services. So I bought this in 2020. That was the initial start of the pandemic. Okay, so if you have, I mean, later on I'll share you the I have a chart that I'm using. So this chart is actually, okay. If you look at the chart, okay, back then, if I were to scroll down, I'm using a daily chart, and I can go all the way back to the time of 2020. You see, I bought this stock at 32 cents. That is in ringgit. I'm talking about ringgit cents. So 32 cents, maybe in US dollars, like maybe 10 or maybe like 5 cents. So I bought it for 32 cents, and I was holding, and then we saw the chart. Okay, charts here are technical analysis. Okay, when I talk about charts, I'm looking at technical analysis. So we saw there is like a potential trend. Now I keep on saying potential because we can only identify a potential that the price might go up. It's not guaranteed, but the potential is there because the indicators all show that these prices will go up further. So I bought at the price of 32 cents, and I was holding back then. That was during, if not mistaken, it was in January when there was the news about the COVID was already a pandemic. And when that news broke, from 32 cents, that end of the day, it went up to 80 cents. And because of that increase in price, the stock was halted. So in Malaysia, if the stock price goes up more than 30 cents, we call this a trading halt. That is upper limit. And the next day, the moment the stock price opened, the moment the market opens, immediately it was halted again. It went up another 30 cents. So from 80 cents, it went up to 1 ringgit 10 cents. And the following day, it did the same, 1 ringgit 60 cents, or so on until it reached 2 ringgit. I made about 300% return in about 1 week time. So if you have 2,000 ringgit, I made about 6,000 ringgit in just 1 week. So I was so confident, and I was like, okay, this I will retire. I will just resign, and that's it for me, because I made a lot of money in just 1 week, and the following week I made another 10,000 ringgit. And I also bought US stocks. US stocks, I had Meta. I bought Meta. I only bought five stocks of Meta. And Meta at that time was only trading at 145, sorry, 150 to, yeah, 150 US per stock. I bought only five stocks. And it went up all the way. If you are following the market, Meta stock is actually 400 US dollar now. Imagine, it went up more than 100%, but I actually
Wow.
sold it when it reached more than 100%. So all of these are opportunities. And people say, no, you should not go into trading. You should not go into the market because the market is bad. But actually, when they say that, they are not familiar with the market, because
Yeah.
market can go up, market can go down. We would like to know the trend. If the trend is down, we can sell, and then we buy low and we collect the money. So if it goes up, we just buy low and we sell high. So it's all that. So you need to know the science about it, and you will be more confident when you enter the market. Otherwise, all you know is buying and holding and waiting for it to go up or waiting for it to go down. And most likely it will not happen. Or if it happens, it will be like very, very long.
Uh, Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, safe to say that we are in a comfortable environment of making money because this is a personal example of someone who I was
Yeah.
just doing the math in my head and I got stuck. Wow. I mean, Alpha, you should take me for a cup of tea.
Yeah. I keep on inviting you,
Right.
remember? I keep on inviting you, but yeah, with all
Now,
of this.
yeah. Now I think it has to be more than a cup of tea. When I was doing the math of the amount of money you
Yeah.
made during the pandemic, where people were losing money, I mean,
Yeah.
that
We
was
made a
just a
lot.
gold mine for you. That's
We
great.
made a lot.
All
We made
right,
a lot.
that's
Yeah.
good. So, Alpha, you have some prepared material you would like to share with
Yes.
our
Yes.
audience.
Yes.
So, I'll put that on the stage. All right, and then
Yeah.
you can have your time and give us a bit of this presentation while
All
we'll
right.
follow you very closely.
Sure, sure, sure. I think this is the late. I actually amended, but I don't know. Anyway, the name of the slide is trading for me. So, audience, if you think that trading is something that you find you are intrigued, or you are interested to know, or you want to know more about, trading is actually about buying and selling assets, and of course, the main objective is to make money. No one buys, no one trades to make losses. However, we have to understand that when we trade, there is this thing called loss. And if we don't manage these losses, we call this risk, then we will never be successful in trading. There are many, many people out there who wants to trade because they want to make instant money, but it is impossible. I would say impossible because they do not know the science behind trading. Trading is all about psychology. Why I would say psychology? It's all about managing one's greed, managing one's emotion, managing how you enter into a trade. Because like my first experience of actual trading was when the market was really, really turbulent. When the market went up, like up and down like nobody's business. That's when, if I go in, will I lose money? If I go out too soon, will I, there's this term called fear of missing out, or there's this term called not willing to cut loss. So all of this falls back to us. So this is where me and my team comes in, because we need to share this very important understanding that trading is all about controlling oneself to identify your personality. One thing, if you are fast, you can trade in, as in you have a different types of trade. If you are more towards a moderate trader, there's a different type of trade whereby you refer to different strategy. And if you are a more layback, or if you are less risk averse, then there's a different type of trade. So these are all known as risk profile. All right. See, as mentioned, the market, or in any trade, be it crypto, forex, stocks, bonds, markets, all this volatile. It's all about what and how. So the key here is that we need to know the direction of a trend. So direction can go up, the direction can go down. But how do we know this direction will go up or down? That is where technical analysis comes in. What is technical analysis? It's about using prices or historical prices to identify potential trends. And these potential trends are only potential, meaning they can go the opposite. Okay, so we are looking at the likelihood that it would go that way. However, we have a safe mechanism whereby we have to set our cut loss just in case it didn't go our way. So this is where we need to know the practicality of trading. Okay, while there are some ads in the YouTube saying, when you trade with us, you'll make like 100% return, 200% return, 300% return. Yes, they are all true. It's possible. However, in order for you to achieve that, you must go through a few process of making losses. And I truly believe that any trader out there actually experience losses. I tell you, there are not one successful trader who never experienced losses. All right. So if you read many investment books, they all say it the same. Now, a very important part of what we do, what we share in Curtin, as well as my team of investors, we must establish a trading plan. Now, trading plan is like a journal. A journal will enable us to go through our day-to-day trading. So if you're interested to do trading as a full-time job, you need to do your homework and you need to identify to identify you yourself. We need to identify whether we are willing to accept this amount of loss. And then that's one thing we need to put our trading philosophy or our investment philosophy in that trading plan. The second, we need to identify how much are we willing to make losses. Are we willing to lose $10? Are we willing to lose $100? Are we willing to lose 1,000, 10,000, 20,000? It all depends on our capital. And number three, we need to know when to exit. Okay, so we set our take profit, when to enter, when to exit, when to take profit. All of this comes into that trading plan. And after this is done, after one whole day trading, after we made like few trades, is successful or not, then we have to review, go back to the drawing board, and we have to sit down and we have to discuss. Oh, if you're doing it alone, then you have to understand, oh, where did I go wrong? Why did I choose this and why not this method? And it did not turn out what I expected it to be. So all of this matters. So in order for you to learn how to trade, you need to start from zero. And that is to know what is a trading plan, what is my personality like, and how will I be able to endure losses? And what is your capital like? So we need to understand trading is not only about making money, it's about capital preservation. We want to make sure that our capital is kept, and if we put in 10,000, we make sure that we at the end of the month we must still at least make sure that our 10,000 is not disturbed, but we must make more. If it's disturbed, then we have to review and what is wrong. So that is where our team of me and my associates come in, because we discuss upon any trading plan that we do. We discuss, we sit down, and we know where did we make mistakes, and we go back, we study, and that's when the virtual part of it comes in. Okay, so we have few virtual platforms out there I can share once we have our more personal session together. So this virtual session is free, and we offer it free, and you can experience it firsthand and to see how much you can actually make through those virtual sessions. If you think that strategy works, then you can try with a bit of your actual money. So at the same time, you need to know how much are you willing to make, how much you're willing to lose. And these are the different types of trading style I mentioned earlier on. Okay, so personally myself, if I have the time, I would be a scalper. Scalper, like yesterday, I did a course with some students as we were trading Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin price was 71,000 per Bitcoin. So each of us in that virtual setting, all of the groups and we bought one Bitcoin, and at the end of the session in 2 hours, we made $130 in that session. So each group, more or less, some were making 110, some were making 120. But the group that actually followed my trading during that time, we made about $130 in about 2 hours. So it all depends. So I do have friends, I do have peers who actually set their trading as in 2.5% per day. So whatever amount of capital they have, they must stick to 2.5%. So they are very strict. And that's where you have to be sure of your trading plan. That's where we come in. We ensure you must stick to your trading plan in order for you to make money. Otherwise, if you don't, it's like going to the dark. Although you have a torchlight, on one hand you want to go to the left, the other you want to go to the right. You must be disciplined with your own trading plan. All right. So that's where a lot of traders actually fail because they are not disciplined. Now, once you have that in the trading plan, you must set your investment goals. Okay, what do you want to have? Like say in a week, how much do you intend to make? Like our team, we set 2.5% per day. So how he achieved that? He's trading cryptocurrency. So there are ways how you can identify, or like earlier on, Dr. Asaro was asking, how do we know what company to choose? That is where we have few platforms that offer the screener. We call the screener why? Because they identify potential companies to choose on, and then from there you will boil it down to say out of 10,000 companies or 5,000 cryptocurrencies, it will just stream down to only 10, only 20. From there on, you can select from this 20. You plot the graph, or plot the diagram, and like I said, the charts are actually your torchlight. So when you plot it, then we can identify, oh, this has potential, this has potential, this is potential. So you use all of this and you put it in your folder. We use an Excel, you key in everything, and then you set. So the first part is always to do a trial and error. All right. So that's where the investment goal comes in. And we need to know when to buy, when to sell, and when to hold. So all of these are key features in that trading plan. So we need to identify this in order for us to move forward. So this must be for every successful trader, as in a day-to-day trader, they will know these are the key to their successful trades. And the very famous one is that 2.5%. I do have friends who go with a 5% profit per day, but it all depends on your trading style, because some of us might tolerate certain amount of losses, some might not. So at the end of the day, it all depends on each individual on how they accept to trade. All right. And that's where I mentioned about technical analysis, whereby technical analysis is the key. It's like a light in the dark. So in order for you to know a potential trade, you need to be able to read charts. And the very common chart we have is the candlestick chart. And this is the example. Okay, another one which is very, very common you can use is called Smart Robin. Now, there are many bots out there, but you cannot rely on them 100%. But in order for you to use this bot, you need to understand first, of course, the chart. Because whenever you search for it, whenever you type the name of the companies, it will show you the chart, and then you need to interpret the chart to see whether it goes up, it goes down, or whether it's hold, or whether it's buy, or it's sell. And this is the common one that I'm using. I'm using TradingView. So if you have a Google account, if you have a Yahoo account, you can open up this TradingView. This is a free chart website. They offer it for free. So when you go to it, for example, in my case, this is one of a Malaysian company, IWCT. You might see that, oh, look at all of these indicators. They are like lines. They are like, you can see that the charts here, there's red, there's green, and there's potential. The lines are there. So this is where, if you're interested to know more, you can always contact me. I can always guide you through, and we can try a simulation session. Okay, so these charts identified the process. So this IWCT, we bought at a very low level here. Okay, and then I made about 30 to 20 cents from this. This is another one, common one that I bought recently, Mastil, and I bought it for 31 cents, and now it's actually trading at 35 cents. So it all depends on your trading or your profit. If you are interested to make 30 cents profit from it, fine. So I had few friends yesterday, they made about 40 cents profit from this Mastil. They bought it at 30 cents, and yesterday's price was at 35 cents. So it's about 5 cents from there. And normally at a very small price of 30 cents, most of them would go for 100,000 shares. So easily they make 5% out of that 100,000 shares. All right. So, I mean, it is all depends on your capital. So Mastil is one. This is another one, Econ Berhad. Econ Berhad is a Malaysian company. As you can see, the green, there's like a potential. You can see all these green steps coming up. So this shows that there is a potential trend in this particular stock. So if you're in the market, you might most probably enter when it start to break the first candle there, the green candle there. So that first part, if you buy in, then you can experience a certain amount of profit. And it all depends on the trading plan. If you are short term, you can easily make about 3 or 4 cents out of this trade. And 3 or 4 cents, if you have 10,000, more or less, you make about few hundred, or if you have like 100,000, you can easily make about few thousand ringgit from this trade. This is another company as well, GFM. You can see these are all these are all technical indicators. This is what we use. Because when we see a potential, we'll try to identify whether there is a trend. And if that trend is true, we will set our entry price. And if we are in, we'll ride. We call this surfing the price. So, like, the term surfing the wave. So we also surf when the price goes up. And we love the famous term called parabolic trend. A parabolic trend is a trend that continues to go up and up and up. Or if it's the opposite, we'll cut loss immediately. Okay, so we enjoy the parabolic trend when the trend goes up in like every 5 minutes, it goes up by 5 cents or 10 cents or 1 cent. So we just join the flow. It will go up, go up. So any stock would be the way how a stock move is that it goes up, it's up, and then it will pause, it will go down a bit, it will go up again, it'll pause, it go down a bit. So the moment it pause, normally some of us will take profit. Otherwise, we will buy in and we'll go on join. So I'm talking about stocks here, but the concept for cryptocurrency is almost similar, except consider the time frame of the charts. Okay, charts, if you can see like this, charts, they are different time frame. Meaning, if it's a 1 minute chart, you see that bar is only a 1 minute. So mean the top is the top price, the bottom is the lowest price of that 1 minute. And if it's a 5 minute, so that whole bar is called a 5 minute chart. So during the 5 minute, the top price and the low price, those are the 5 minute ups and downs. And of course, at the end of the day, we have to know, like I said, if you have 10,000 at the end of the month, you must make sure your 10,000 is still maintained or you make more. So we want to ensure that there is a portfolio growth. Okay. And every time upon completion of your trade, it's best to write, or for me, I have an Excel file. I will key in my experience for that day. I'll trade and I'll list down what happened, what was actually successful, which particular indicator that I used that was successful, whether it was a moving average, whether it was a RSI, whether it was a moving average cross, or whether it's a whole moving average. So this, I will write it down in my trading journal so that I can understand the potential of this trade. So in the future, if there is a mistake, I will not repeat this mistake. So yeah, that is briefly what we do in trading. So if you have any question, feel free to ask.
Wow, that was loaded. Really very loaded. A lot of information shared,
Yes.
and I would like to share a comment here from End of Wire. She says, "This is a very powerful broadcast packed with valuable information. Well done, Alpha." Yeah, I really would
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, powerful with a lot of information. And I believe that we cannot entirely exhaust all this information in a very, tiny tidbit detail within 1 hour. So,
Yes, definitely no.
yeah.
Definitely no.
So we will provide you with the contact of Dr. Alpha and you can privately contact him. And there's another comment here that states, for a starter, this is a question. Which securities or stocks would you advise us to start with? And
Like
then,
I said, it all depends on at the end of the day, you need to know your own personal. I need to know you personally, because if I suggest, there's a disclaimer every time I share. There's a disclaimer that trading stocks, cryptocurrency are very risky, and your capital you might lose your capital. So it is best to know you personally so that you know which type of, whether you can accept 50% loss, 20% loss, 30% loss, and how frequent, how available are you to trade. Because to trade, you need to know the timing. Timing is crucial. If you're trading US market, you need to know which type or which stocks you're in. See, recently when the market was, the technology stocks went up, it was wonderful. But then there was like the banking stocks were down. You see, so all of this requires, we need to know the individual first, and then we can understand. But personally, on my side, I would, because I mix. I would actually go for US market, and I have few US stocks that I have, and they're making about 200% return. Like I mentioned, Meta is about 100+% return. Vidya was about 100+% return, but I sold Vidya. And I'm still keeping Bank of America because Bank of America gives good dividends, banking stock. So that's one. Apart from that, I'm eyeing on Disney, but Disney was not really performing that well. Another one that I'm looking is into is Microsoft, and yeah, Microsoft is one, and Google, but not so, because there are many other types of securities that I mentioned. One are stocks. The other one that if you do not have the capacity to go into big, we can consider options. Options is another wonderful, wonderful security because options is the price is rather low. So options give you the right to buy or to sell. So that's a different story. It's more detailed into the types of security that we do. But
Uh,
personally, in order for you to trade, you need to know. Yeah, you contact me, and then we can talk more
yeah,
about.
because there's a second part there. How can I contact Dr. Alpha
Yes,
for a person?
you need
All
to.
right, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna scroll his contact information, and you can reach him privately. I'll be doing that now. I'll just put a banner, okay? Yeah, so you can contact him on WhatsApp, Telegram. You can even send him a direct email,
Yeah.
or connect with him on LinkedIn. Okay, we also have a comment here from Anita. Yeah, you're welcome to today's show, Anita. Thank you. And she says this is so informative. Yeah, we all agree that a lot of very significant and vital information
Mm,
has been shared today, courtesy our guest. Thank you so much
yeah.
for that
Yeah.
and for availing us your time. So I believe that the time is up. It's almost midnight in your location, Alpha. Correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so we wouldn't want to keep you beyond the 1 hour mark. It's been an absolute pleasure just sitting down and listening to you. I can say that your students in the class are
Yeah.
having a good ride, with all this information that you share. So thank you very much for this beautiful time out. If I'm pretty sure some other people are having questions in their minds to ask, so you can send them directly to Dr. Alpha on the
Yes, please.
contacts you can see on your screen, or if you can shoot us an email or a message, direct message, we'll pass it across to him. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Thanks.
on a final note, do you have any parting shot for us, Alpha? Going
Well,
forward, and this parting shot, what I mean is future trends. What do you see the future trends in cryptocurrencies, in metals, and in trading generally?
okay. There's this movement, right? This movement of AI. AI now is in the picture. AI is now many is using AI to trade and whatnot. But at the end of the day, because the market, you have to be very clear that the stock market comprises of individual like you and me. We are all human beings, and the market is all about emotion. So it's very difficult for AI because AI doesn't have this emotion. So the best, if we look at how the market trend is, there is always opportunity to make. When the market is up or down, the most important thing is to know, to understand key factors on why this happened and how can we, monopolize this. How can we use this to our own benefit? So I can see that there are many young people out there now. In fact, our students, Katin students, while they graduated from finance and marketing, finance investment and whatnot, at the end of the day, many of them are actually doing trading. Many of our students are doing trading. Why? Because they learn, they experience, and they can actually, make that regular 2.55% return on a daily basis. So I can see that this will be a trend.
Interesting, interesting. Really interesting. So, yeah, for those of you out there who are thinking about something to do aside your regular 9 to 5 income, here you go. it is also going to be big in the future, so you have nothing to
Yes.
fear. And of course, you have Alpha here to consult with and
Feel
get
free. Yeah.
guidance on the particular route that will be suitable for you. And I'd like to take him on what he said. Everybody needs a customized plan. Is that correct?
Yes,
Customized,
definitely.
yeah, that suits your thinking, your
Your
passion, and your
time.
interest.
Yes, exactly.
On your time, correct. Okay. And I'd like to also say that you did demystify trading and investment in this program today. I get a lot from that. I used to
Thank
do a lot of investment, but now that I see that you can make more money with trading, I
you.
think this is a part that I would want to actively go into. And I'm pretty sure some other people will be sharing the same sentiments like I'm sharing
Yes.
right now. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Alpha, for
You're
gracing
welcome.
the platform
You're welcome.
today. And I hope that in the future, if we happen to call upon you, you'll avail us
Yeah,
the opportunity. Okay then.
definitely.
All right. Thank
All
you
right.
so
See you.
much, and it's a good
Thank
night
you.
to you,
Good
Alpha.
night. Bye bye.
Bye.